the Ikea pack system was not gonna work out. So I was able to build my dream wall unit using the Ikea Billy bookcase system. Hey guys, welcome back or welcome. I wanted to start off by saying Happy New Year's to you all. I hope this new year is filled with tons of happiness, a lot of love, and much success. If you are new here, my name is May, and I typically do a lot of handbag review videos, a little bit unboxing, some fashion inspiration, and I get into travel vlogs from time to time. However, in today's video, I wanted to share with you all how I was able to get my wall unit display for my handbags for just under $1,500. So my husband and I finally purchased our dream home early on in 2022, and I did have a spare room which I wanted to use as my filming space and also have a display unit built in order to use as my backdrop for all of my sit-down videos and handbag and fashion videos that I love filming to share with you guys here in this space. I wanted to be able to build something that would allow me to display my handbags as well as my shoes and a little bit of accessories and decorations. So our initial thought was we were gonna hire a company in order to get this done for us. Neither my husband or I are very handy, so we called up a couple of companies. They came in and they gave us quotes, but the cheapest quote that we got in order to build the wall unit that I wanted for the specific space was $7,500. Some of them ranged all the way up to $15,000, and that was just not the type of money that I was willing to spend on this. We are doing new projects around this house, and I would rather put that money towards something else. So once we realized that it was definitely going to be a little bit more than we expected, we started doing our own research. And if you are here, you've probably seen other videos as well that use a lot of Ikea's pack system in order to build a specific closet or unit to the style that the person is looking for. Now we do have high ceilings in our home, so for that reason the pack system wasn't going to be able to work out too well. However, the Billy bookcase system allows you to add extenders to their already pre-built bookshelves in order for you to reach the height of the bookshelf that you desire. And once we saw that this was available through this system, we knew that this was the way that we were going to go. As I mentioned, we went ahead and purchased the Billy bookcase system, and what I did was I purchased 2 wider units for the outer part of the wall and then purchased 3 slimmer units to place in the center of the wider unit. After we went ahead and put them together, I did need to purchase an additional 2 extension pieces of every bookshelf itself. So I had a total of 4 longer ones and a total of 6 smaller options for the centerpieces, just because I wanted to make sure that the bookcase went as high as possible since we do have higher ceilings in those rooms. Once all 5 pieces were built and placed side by side, what we did was added a piece of very thick wood in between each of the bookshelves just to go ahead and drill them together and make the unit itself a little bit more sturdy. If I would have left it without that specific wood piece in between, then each bookcase would have kind of moved and it wouldn't have given me the opportunity to make it look like a unit that was built within the room itself. Now, the screws that we did drill in order to keep these pieces of wood in between each bookcase, you could still see them outside once they were drilled with the wood. What we did was we purchased some little white circular stickers that we went ahead and placed over those. And if I'm taking pictures or if I'm filming, you definitely cannot see those stickers. They look like they blend perfectly with the bookcase. So that ended up working really, really well. And as you can see, when we added those chunkier wood pieces in order to stabilize the unit itself, you can tell that the bookshelves were not placed together side by side. There was actually a space in between each bookcase. So what we did was we added a piece of wood called MDF. That's what my husband told me. I'll make sure to link everything down below as I mentioned. And if you do see me looking over, it's because I have all my notes here to make sure that I give you all of the correct information. So we did purchase those wood pieces in order to put over each bookcase wherever there was that space to cover that and make it look like a more complete one-piece wall unit. We also had to add baseboards in the bottom and on the top. Even though we added those 2 additional extenders, there was still a little bit of piece missing from the last extender to the roof. So we went ahead and added a flat piece of wood there as well. Once all that was completed, you can see that the unit itself looked like it had been incorporated within the room itself. I hope I'm making sense in the way that I'm explaining it. My idea was not to have one piece of unit put on the room and you could tell that it didn't belong there. I actually wanted it to look like this unit was built with the room itself. Once everything was complete, the inside of the bookcase was a little bit brighter of a white than the panels that we had put over top. So what we did was that we painted those panels. I made sure to add tape on certain parts of the bookcase just because when we were painting, especially the sides of the panels, I didn't want any paint to get inside of the bookcase. So you will see that we did put tape around the unit itself because we didn't want to get paint on the walls, and then there were certain spots in the bookcase itself that we also added tape. We made sure to use a very slim brush and a very slim paint roller, a very slim paint roller, just because the panels that we were painting over were not too wide, so we didn't want to have excess paint and then make it drip on the panels, and then that would just make the paint look very uneven. Now, when I originally got quotes for the display unit that I wanted to put up, I looked at both options, the options of having holes in order for me to move the shelves around, and the option of not having any holes and just making customized cubbies for specific handbags. However, after I considered everything and we decided to build it ourselves, I did realize that the holes are a good thing to have, just because if I do want to switch the size of the cubbies from time to time because I'm adding different handbags, or I just want to rearrange the look of the whole wall unit altogether, I have the ability to do so if I have those extra holes. My biggest concern was that you were going to be able to see the holes as I was filming or taking pictures with the wall unit behind me, and it has turned out to be quite the opposite. I barely even notice the holes when I walk into the room and see the unit displayed and with everything inside. So I'm really glad that I opted to go that route. Now, as I was arranging my things and putting my handbags and my decorations, I did realize that having a little hanging space would be nice in order to put some jackets, maybe blouses and blazers, just to switch up the aesthetic of the whole wall unit and not have it be just handbags and shoes. So what we ended up doing is we did get one of the corners of the side units and we actually hung up a clothing rod. Now the rod was placed at the outermost part of that unit just because you want to leave space for the hanger to fit comfortably. The hanger will pop out of the unit, but for what I specifically wanted, which was just to display some pieces, I was able to turn the hanger sideways and you can see the pieces actually displayed fully rather than just hanging sideways like they normally would on a rack of clothing. This way it allowed me to display something else within the unit, which was perfect because I knew that I didn't want this clothing rod to actually hang pieces that I want to wear from the day to day. I do have plans to turn the closet from that room into a more organized closet space, and for that I will use the pack system. So if you are interested in me recording that process, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll make sure to do so in order to share with you all. Now, after everything was completed and we painted the wall unit, I went ahead and rearranged all of the spacers and created the exact size shelves or cubbies that I wanted to in order to place my handbags. My idea was to place handbags more or less in the center of the wall unit, and then around the outer parts just add other kinds of decoration pieces. I did add a vase next to my Celine luggage tote, which I felt matched perfectly with the bag, and also added to that space, which was very big and empty just with one bag in it. But I love the fact that I have a lot of room to play with and to switch around the aesthetic of the whole unit itself. In the bottom, I kept longer pieces just to display shoes. But as you can see, I can also display the packaging of pieces that I add. I can also add a little basket just to add my pouches, which we all know I have way too many of. There are a few empty spaces right now, but that makes me happy because that just means I have more room in order to add more shoes and handbags to my collection. As I had mentioned, we had gotten quotes from $7,500 up to $15,000 for a wall unit like this, and I am so excited that we were able to get this done. First, in a shorter amount of time that I was even quoting. These companies were taking anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks in order to get this done, and in literally a fraction of the price. After everything was done, the paint, the wall units, the wood pieces. The total cost of this wall unit came up to just about $1,400, and to me that just blows my mind. I had a ton of help from my dad, my father-in-law, my husband of course, and I took part into doing some of the painting myself, so for that I get credit as well. But I'm just very excited that I was able to get my dream wall unit piece in order to display all of my handbags, all of my shoes, and have as a really nice, aesthetically pleasing backdrop in order to film all of my videos with. I do hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions that maybe I didn't explain thoroughly enough throughout the video. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below, or any ideas that you might want to leave when I do decide to go into the pack system in order to build a closet for that specific room. As always, I appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day to watch today, and I hope to catch you in my next one, which will definitely be handbag related. Bye everyone.